As much as Gideon tells us that this debate is not about the benefits that we get from AI, it is something that we should also note that this debate is also not about the harms that we get from AI, because from both sides we concede to the benefits and the harms that comes as a result of it. This debate comes to a point where they are to tell us conclusively that AI is inherently bad and that there is nothing good that can come out of it, that any effort in research is a total waste of time. We are to argue that because we can achieve a certain amount of utility in this, we should be able to push forward for this, and we are happy if people have fears of AI, because these are things that eventually drive research and interrogate scientific facts and proofs and about things that we create, and in the end we come up with better things. So if there are issues like ethics, okay, that come about with the creation of materials or with goods or with plants or with so on and so forth, we are happy for them, because in the end we're able to stifle the bad effects of it and we're able to create better things which better improve man. So it's not about the fears that we have, like those things that they continually talk about. But then to my rebuttals, integrated throughout, because some of it you'll be getting my new extensions. Number one, they say it holds the prospect of human annihilation or annihilation of the human race. See, and VJ consistently tells you that we've had many technologies which actually pose this threat. As of the time that mechanization came into existence, it had the potential of erasing the whole labor force. But these were things that human beings specifically adapted to, because there were calls for concerns for these, like as we are having in this debate. Human beings were better able to address these issues. And we tell you consistently that this is the basis by which we say human beings are superior, because they are able to manage this risk that comes with these innovations. And that is how we are able to fundamentally prove these things. So we tell you, humans have the ability to evolve in the midst of change, and we've proved it consistently. That is how come we are the superior race. Like, that is what best defines us. That is why the dinosaurs are not the superior race, because they died when a rocket hit their head. But then we told you how it's okay to fear, because in the end we interrogate these intentions. Isaac, sit down. We'll take you later. Sit down. Then he talks about an evolutionary threat and about how we should not be pawns to evolution. We've told you that consistently human beings are viewed as the superior race because we have overcome these things. Okay. Now it will get to a point where we have to examine what has brought us to the apex of all these species, about the evolutionary challenge. That means consistently we are faced by the challenges of evolution, and us being able to overcome it consistently proves that we are the superior race, and that is exactly what we need to do. We need to stoke up our evolution time upon time to challenge it, and we think these things are very, very necessary to our existence, even as humans. Then number three, they say human dignity is trumped by the existence of a superior race. Then we get from his speech that we have human dignity because we have human dignity just because we are a superior race, or because we have a superior higher thinking. But then here are the responses. Human dignity and respect comes from the thought of controlling factors or conditions that seem magnanimous. That is why even as a man, like you have more pride if you are better able to control a woman who is way bigger than you. Like, the thought of even being superior or having a certain level of dignity is about controlling factors that are way bigger than you. And the fact that human beings have been able to do this, that is where our human dignity is premised. So these things are things which further entrenches our dignity, and the thought of supreme knowledge or whatever are things that we should regularly hold on to. But then we get this whole thing about inequality, which is something we should really address. See, the level of inequality we face in our society is not on the basis of intelligence. Rather, it is even intelligence that buys us into the class and certainly weakens the gaps that exist within society. That is why black men are viewed as inferior. But then certainly, when we found men like Dr. Ben Carson, we're able to say all human beings are equal, because they are able to think up to this kind of, we think intelligence even brings us closer. And then we think, even if we agree on that basis, okay, we say the gaps in intelligence are not things that you can equally close or even expand further by AI, because day and day far more intelligent people are born, day and day far more dumber people are born within society, and this is not a point for them. We think we should nudge humans towards the aspiration of intelligence, and it's very important. Now, last one, they provide an alternative about the singularity of research. Then the whole thought of us not pursuing things that in the end in itself are way higher than us or way improve us, and then providing an alternative which in the end goes to prove that we should integrate human beings and machines, which they've told us have higher capacities than us, I think is a contradiction on their side that we are not ready to buy. Now, Pascal concedes to a point where he says that third generation computers are better than man. That is the reason why we should not even pursue these things. But then we've shown you how existentially we are able to coexist with even these machines that are way better than us, and even produce ones that are still better than the third generation computers. We still think these are the things that inherently make us human and eventually let us exist as the superior race. Let me take you.
Nuclear energy has the ability to light up the world and provide energy that we cannot create. But then it can also destroy the world. If nuclear energy could develop a brain of its own, would we allow such a?
Listen, nuclear energy has gone to a point where we are able to stifle the harmful effects that come as a result. That is the creation of nuclear weapons and so on and so forth. That is why we nudge the world towards the use of nuclear weapons in a way that is better, that will better improve the world, create energy that will better help us. We still think these things feed into our points, and these are things that we buy on our side. Then they say this time is different, like the machines that are being created is different. We've shown you how time upon time again it always looks bigger than us, but then we are still able to tramp over it. But then what does BJ bring to you in this debate? He brings you two things. He tells you about how government must never stifle research that does not necessarily pose a threat to human extinction and human annihilation. And we've shown to you that at every point in time when something is coming up, these are the very factors that bring to it. Like there's always a possibility of human extinction and annihilation. It's no different. Number two, it tells you about how we must never stifle human development because of the threat of competition. Because it tells you competition is vital to the survival of the human race and to the survival of the human nature. Panel, you should note that at every point, like these guys are come to argue, these things have a brain on their own and so on and so forth. But these are things that we already have in the system and do not pose that kind of a major threat to us. For example, we have self-driving cars, okay, and that can actually take data and think on their own. These are not things that have necessarily gone way higher against human beings and say they are going to crash us down or so on and so forth. We think that the kind of fear that these guys have is very good and are things that we should use to interrogate the AI and still move into research. But they are never conclusive or founded enough. Like Pano, that's what you should note. The fears are never conclusive or founded enough to say we should halt every kind of research that's going to bring development to man. Thank you very much.